Morning, everybody. Glad you could join us again for a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I hope you had a nice weekend, a nice week. Shout out again to our retired Vincentians in Perryville, Missouri, especially those who are in need of healing. And also a personal shout out to people who have asked for prayers for healing. And we remember today Susan and Brooklyn and Kitten and Becky and Brian and Bill. We're hoping God will bring you some healing soon. So my brother and I have been on the road for a couple of weeks, and we have secured and rescheduled missions that have been postponed because of the pandemic, and we're very happy that we've got missions now on schedule for the coming year, at least starting in the fall. My hope is that everybody could understand with joy this reflection. It's about coming home. When you're on the road for a couple of weeks, it was nice to come home. And I think that's just a good feeling for everybody. I was reading about Paul. He's sailing back to his home in London. And he's remarking about how wonderful it is to have such great friends. And it's like having coffee with friends. And he's remarking as he's getting ready to sail how wonderful it is. And his buddies show up at the ship. And they're bringing chocolates and champagne and cigars. And he's telling the people while he's up on the ship how wonderful it is that they brought this stuff. And then as they started to sail, here are his buddies. All he can see is they're eating, they're drinking, and they're smoking. So maybe he had some different ideas taking this stuff home. But going home, what a great feeling. It's like the great feeling of a White Sox player going home. Hopefully because of his own home run. Or how about people who go, to a homecoming? They return after years and they want to celebrate coming back to their school. Or how about, a young private, young kid serving in Afghanistan, and he finally comes home. What a celebration. So coming home is such a wonderful experience for people. It's just a good feeling, and good stuff happen. And as you return, you recall the goodness of home. I'm thinking a lot right now about a different home. God's house. And all across the country right now, things are much better. Many people have been vaccinated. It's safer. And people are invited back home to God's house, where they'll be able to celebrate without worrying about a mask or social distancing, where they'll be able to hear choirs again, where they'll be able to celebrate and receive Eucharist. And they may have been away for it for a long time. This coming home is really, really a special time. And I'm hoping people, as they come home, they start thinking about what they're going to bring. Are they going to bring a sense of relief, a sense of gratitude, a sense of excitement, to begin again and come home to God's house? And I'm hoping I'm hoping a result of that. And maybe there even is some intentions to make it even better. You know, we've been away from it for a while. And it's good to come home to the Lord and celebrate His presence. That's the beauty of being in God's house, especially during Eucharist, where we celebrate His presence. And so this can be a wonderful time for us to come home to God's house, to celebrate the beauty of Eucharist and God's presence. So I hope, that's a special time for you, that your church is open, and I hope you're able to now celebrate without fear, without worry, just to be with God in His house. So that's my reflection, and that coming home for me, it's nice to be off the road. It's just a good feeling to be home. I always think that, one of the ways we stay in touch with this God, whose house we're going to return to, is in our prayer. And we always pray for those miracles that are needed in our world. And so I hope you join me and take out our mission prayer. We say this every day for people in need of miracles. And so join me in praying for yours. Divine Savior, transform me into yourself. May my hands be your hands. May my tongue be your tongue. Grant that every faculty of my body may serve only to glorify you. Above all, transform my soul and all its powers, that my memory, my will, and my affections may be the memory, the will, and the affections of you. I pray you to destroy in me all that is not of you. Grant that I may live but in you and by you and for you, and that I may truly say with St. Paul, I live now, not I, but Christ lives in me. God bless. Have a nice week. See you next Monday for coffee.